Welcome to Toby Scrambled, starring Elisiecakes, twitch.tv/Elisiecakes, and me, Toby Scrambled. Today's topic is video games and Twitch. Elisiecakes,
Hi.
how are you doing today?
You know, I'm good. I'm famous. Feeling very like a very famous, influential, and loved person.
As you should. As you should.
Yeah, and rich.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
You've told me about your piles and piles of Twitch money that you gain every day.
Every single day. They actually made a new rule where they don't pay me monthly anymore. They have to pay me daily, or else it's gonna break. The Twitch bank.
Yeah,
They're gonna say this is too much money. Even Jeff Bezos thinks it's too much money.
My God, that's an achievement right there.
It is. It is really.
It is. Elisiecakes. Miss Cakes, can I call you that?
Yes. No.
Elisiecakes. What is your favorite video game of all time?
It's Darkwood.
Darkwood.
Yeah. It is a it's an indie horror game about and you set in the late 1980s where a plague washes over Poland, an area in Poland, where a bunch of trees just kind of start growing and they don't stop growing and they box out this town, and you're in there trying to get out of there. Yeah. It's no jump scares at all.
None.
Yep, that's how they marketed it. They said the game without jump scares, and they were right. It's just ambiance.
Oh, wow.
Really good sound design. Yeah.
Okay. I thought there was jump scares and you were just lying to me to scare me.
No. No, I just like screaming a lot. So like if you heard me play, there were, but there's not.
I see. I am not the hugest fan of horror games, honestly. But your streams make them pretty silly, pretty funny to watch.
Thank you.
I enjoy them.
I'm just that's what makes me so famous and influential and loved and hot and smart, When
you played Franbo too, that was pretty that was a pretty silly time.
Yeah, I gotta try replaying that game. Now that I figured out how to actually capture it within
Yeah,
I figured it out. But it's a good game. It's a bit wacky.
So my favorite game, I would say, is probably Undertale. Because I'm
sorry, keep going.
You were in the moment. I'm sorry.
No,
I can't do this anymore. Maybe
No, wait, no.
Maybe I should just record this podcast on my own. I'm sorry. No.
I take it back.
Okay. Well, my favorite game I would consider to be Undertale because I had a really huge obsession with it when I was a small boy. And I don't know, like usually stuff like that I am really they seem kind of cringe now because it's like, oh, I love that so much and now I don't.
Yeah.
Because it's dumb and stupid. But Undertale, surprisingly, I still really like, even though the fandom was kind of horrible and awful.
I think it's good to separate. I think people need to start separating games more often from whatever fandoms they're in, because the game isn't really, if it's influenced by the fandom, like let's say like the second game or whatever is like heavily inspired or whatever, by the fandom, that becomes a problem. But
yeah, and I mean with Undertale that didn't really become a problem. I feel like Toby Fox wasn't heavily influenced by like appealing to his audience. So when Deltarune came out, it was just like, I'm pretty sure he started writing Deltarune before he ever started writing Undertale, so it was already in the works, but like, it doesn't feel like, oh my god, everyone made all these these alternate universes and now I'm gonna incorporate them or anything. Yeah, it's a separate thing.
Wasn't that a problem with Homestuck?
Or
was that like
I don't know, actually. I don't know a ton about Homestuck, even though I have been reading it with my BF. But I mean, it might have been. I know that the story got really complicated.
Yeah, I think it's so weird because it's like I don't mind complicated stories.
Yeah,
but but the issue is if you're making it complicated because your fandom, because it's like, because there was a lady that I like on YouTube named Sarah Z. I think she pronounces it Sarah Z, but it's just Sarah and like a Z.
Sarah Zed.
Where she gave the brief history of Homestuck. And
Mm.
it's like a 2-hour long video. Like I watched that video in its entirety in one sitting. And it was explaining how like the guy who made it is like, I don't know if he's a millionaire, but like he would be like, if you want like a page or whatever, it like it started like if you want like your little character in the background, like $200, and then I think it got
Sheesh.
beefed up all the way to like 2,000 if I remember correctly. Either way, it was more money than you should be spending to just be featured as a background character. But people wanted to be on Homestuck so badly.
Yeah.
But it's just so interesting because that impacted like a lot of fandom stuff. Like I know Undertale did a lot, but Homestuck was like,
Yeah, I mean, Homestuck, I
yeah,
was never really super into it because I still don't fully understand the story. I'm slowly getting more
mhm.
into it with
Yeah.
Charlie's teachings. But um I feel like it really like ingrained itself deeply into internet culture. Like there are a lot
Yeah.
of long-lasting jokes that stemmed from Homestuck and you wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
Or
It's insane.
like or stuff that you would know, like the bathing in Sharpies and stuff.
Yeah, that we don't even know if is real or not, but it's just so terrifying.
Yeah, there were a lot of crazy things that stemmed from like
Yeah.
Tumblr Homestuck fandom.
Because I was trying to figure out, because every time Overtale Undertale is I immediately think of it's so weird because like the internet worked in a way where it doesn't matter like if it's like a game or something you read or whatever, but you can tell one, the type, it usually starts like what, like an indie game of some sort, but there's like a
Yeah.
timeline of how worse it got or how better it got. And it started with Homestuck, and then what, and then I think it went Undertale, if I remember correctly, of like
Hmm.
peaks of fandoms if you put them in like order.
Yeah. I feel like
But
Danganronpa and like Dream SMP are kind of the
yeah,
current giant
I
fandom craziness.
did Danganronpa, is that still as big as it used to be? Because I remember when it like was
Mm,
at its peak,
I
it was
I don't.
insane.
It's not at its peak anymore, but I know that it did get
Yeah,
really big.
maybe because of breakdown, not breakdown, lockdown, that people just kind of went back to it because
Mm,
it's not a very
quarantine.
intense game. Yeah,
Yeah,
quarantine. Thank you. It's not a very intense game.
yeah. I don't really know much about that game either. I watched the Game Grumps play it a little bit when they started their playthrough, and then I got bored of Game Grumps in general. So
It's just a game about
I mean, I know what it is. Like they're
yeah,
trapped in this school and they have to like
yeah. There's like
kill
a
each
murder,
other,
but
or they have to be like the last one to survive, but they can't get caught killing other people or they will be killed.
yeah, it's like that
That's the
basic
first
game
one
of
at
like
least. I don't
werewolf.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know why it got so big. I'm gonna assume it's because of the zany characters, but it didn't really need to
Mhm.
reach what it did. At least in my opinion, just because I think it went on for too long.
Yeah.
At least watching wise.
That
Um,
that happens
mhm.
with so many communities though, where they'll just like blow up for
Yeah,
no reason and then just go way too far and then everyone hates it. Cookie Run?
yeah. I mean,
That
yeah,
was weird.
that was weird.
And now like nobody plays it anymore. I know I don't, but
Yeah,
that got so popular for some reason and everyone was thirsting over these gingerbread cookies. And it's like, what's going on here?
yeah. And I think it started off as a meme. Hopefully, you know.
Maybe. And Among Us too, honestly. Like, do you
Yeah, I think.
remember the
Mhm.
beginning of quarantine
Yeah,
or like
and
the
then it
beginning of
immediately.
Among Us when everybody was like super actually into it and like drawing buff sexy versions of astronauts and
Yeah,
now it's just been completely memed and no one likes it anymore.
yeah, meme to death.
Yeah, memed to death.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's too. I don't know. It's
Hmm.
it's weird because I would say that Among Us wasn't taken to the levels as like Homestuck or Undertale, because
No,
it's
no.
so weird because it's like with Among Us, because that's like any age group, but you got that weird age group of kids who, one, either like just don't know how to act on the internet, or don't know how to act like hormonal wise, or adults who don't need to be acting like that, and it's a bad combination to
Yeah.
have, especially on the internet.
Yeah, no, I
But I
don't.
think Among Us was one of those that didn't really touch that.
Yeah, I don't think Among Us got to that level at all, but it did get really,
Mm.
really huge, and then there were people who were kind of weird about it because there are people who are weird about everything. And
Yeah.
then it died as quickly as it blew up.
Yeah. So that and like Fall Guys.
Fall Guys lasted like not even a year.
No, it was a very quick
That was
decline.
maybe like for 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, and it's so weird because I tried to watch a video on it talking about it, because Among Us, both, I think, Among Us and Fall Guys both like came out before they got famous. Like Among Us was like 3 months, I think, not 3 months, 3 years or something like that. Like it came out earlier.
Yeah.
But I think Fall Guys, because they just didn't handle it correctly.
I
Where it's like
remember
they didn't deal with cheaters, they didn't make it like a variety like they should have.
I remember that Fall Guys came out like the day or two before my birthday. That's that's
Damn.
yeah. It was made for
So
me
yeah,
actually.
it was a gift. It was a gift to you.
Exactly. But yeah, I watched like Mr. Crank Gameplays play that for a while and
Mhm.
like Rubber Ross and stuff on Twitch, and I was like, this is fun. And then I played it very briefly on the PS4, and
Mhm.
then I got bored of it, and so did everybody else on Earth.
Yeah, it's extremely boring. And it's like, and I understood why it was fun at first if you had a large group of friends, but that's impossible to get. And at the same time, people like cheating who really shouldn't be. So
Yeah.
very annoying.
Oh yeah, I remember that being a problem with like people flying around maps and stuff. That's always annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying.
Minecraft.
Oh god, it's so weird. It's because now I mean I'm obviously still thinking of Minecraft now, but it's Minecraft is one of those games that I'm so confused about how it's not died yet. Like people, I know people called it cringe for a while, even though it wasn't really cringe.
It I think it like goes
Mm.
through periods of being like I don't know. It'll like get so super popular for a minute and then it'll die down
Mhm.
a little bit and then something else Minecraft related will happen and it'll just be everywhere again. And
Yeah.
like when PewDiePie started playing it, that was like a huge thing and then it kind of
Oh yeah.
then like a bunch of other huge YouTubers like Jacksepticeye and stuff were playing it and then it kind of died again and then Dream SMP.
Yeah.
And now we're in our current Minecraft peak, like
I'm trying.
probably
I
the
don't.
fourth one.
Yeah, I don't understand how PewDiePie revived it. If I'm being honest, because people point to him because he was the one person who was like, "I'm gonna play it again," and then everybody just loved it again. I don't know why they needed his
Yeah,
validation to start it not being
I
cringe
don't
again,
know.
but
Yeah, that's kind of what it's like his kind of audience that was like, "Oh, Minecraft's cringe. I hate that game." And then he started playing it and they're like, "Oh, no, I love Minecraft. I've always
yeah,
loved Minecraft." No, you didn't, buddy. He was
yeah,
probably playing it ironically at first and then he got into it.
yeah,
Which I never like it's a fun game. Obviously, it's a really good game because it's so huge.
yeah,
People just like to hate things.
yeah.
Honestly.
It's one of those. It's one of those like no brain like games that I think that's you can make it really whatever you want to make it. And I think it's just because it's so no brain that it could be any age gap or any gap, any age difference
Any
range.
age range, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, we got there. Any age range. That people could have just called it cringe because it was like some 30-year-old guy could be playing it and some like 6-year-old honestly could be playing it. It didn't take a lot. And I think it's
Yeah.
popular now because people want entertainment, but they want entertainment in a way that they can easily process.
Mm. I mean, it's a
So
sandbox game. There's like so many different things that you can do with it that it kind of fits every audience. Like the
yeah, it
streaming
does.
aspect of it right now is that there are like builders and there are Hypixel players and there are role players and you can really just find like anything you want to watch
Mhm.
that's Minecraft related if you try hard enough.
Yeah.
And it's kind of always
Yeah.
been that way, but it got a lot more popular in quarantine when everybody was bored and didn't know what to watch.
Yeah.
Then it just carried.
It really, yeah. And I mean, it's so weird because I wish I had access to like that. What is it? The Dream like S&P like age bracket type of
Mm-hmm.
thing. Because I've seen it's so weird because I think it hits the demographic that I think Undertale hit at the
Yeah.
time. I
Yeah.
don't know if it hit Homestucks because Homestucks was oddly, at least from what I know, mid teens to like late teens. Like it had a good demographic, but
Yeah, I mean, Homestuck was earlier internet, so now people who liked it
yeah.
originally are like older now. And they
Hmm.
seem to be more the people who are like, I hate the Dream SMP. They're
Yeah.
evil. But then Undertale enjoyers are like, oh my god, Ronbu Live. I love you.
Yeah, Undertale has a it's so weird because I know people because again I think I said it before. People compare like Undertale and Homestuck, but I think that there's something weird about the Undertale community that it's like hasn't changed somehow.
Yeah.
And if it has, it's been very tame because I remember when it used to be like weird. Like I think I watched somebody play like a dating sim
Oh,
of like
yeah,
all of like
I'm
yeah,
sure.
that weird dating sim where it's like the skeleton characters, but there's just different variations of them.
Yeah.
Um, but at the same time, it's like the what is it? The Dream SMP has that. I know they have that. It's not like a dating sim because you know they're minors. It's weird.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
actually, none of the main guys are minors anymore, which
mm,
is terrifying because now they're
that
kind of just
is
everyone's like, well, now I can be
we
weird because they're
yeah
18 now.
yeah. And
I'm
I mean it's
afraid for
I'm
Tommy in it, honestly.
yeah I am too, but at the same time, it's in my and I know this sounds bad, but I'll explain in a minute. I feel like he's lucky that he's a guy in this situation
Yeah.
because it's like because I'm thinking that my immediate like thought when I think of that is like Mary Kate and Ashley, where it's
Mm.
like even though he's not to their popularity, I think he's well known like
He's
amongst a lot of
very
people,
he's
but
pretty well known, yeah.
yeah, but they remember didn't they have like a countdown where they had like sites counting down to like their 18th birthday? It's like and then
Ew,
they had people
yeah.
beforehand like 30-year-old guys like they talk about in an interview like coming up to them and asking them for like their autograph and they're like 6 and it's like they would get it if it was like a family member they would be like I could tell it was like they're alone where it's like they're a fan of us and it's in a weird way.
Yeah.
Um but at least and it's and I probably I feel a little bit more bad because I think what balances it out for like Tommy's situation would be he's an influencer, so it's less of like a movie star like situation where there could be a feeling of separation. It's like again parasocial relationships is an issue
Mhm.
where people probably feel way closer to him than they need to. And from the only thing that I've ever heard about him is that he sounds very lonely, which is
Yeah.
also a major issue.
Yeah, I mean, I know it was definitely a problem for a minute there where people were being all like weird about him and he had to address it on stream like, "Hey, maybe don't write these weird stories
Yeah, with him
about
and his
me
friends.
with me and my friends because that's uncomfortable." But
Yeah.
I feel like that part has died down a bit more maybe for like
I'm
the younger guys.
yeah, because
For for like the
I think
dream
it was
team
because
and
people
stuff,
were
that's still going strong, but I don't know.
yeah. I mean, I was gonna say I think it's because he's one. I mean, Dream hasn't, from what I've noticed, he's never like denounced any of that. Sorry,
You're fine.
of being like, oh, like pair me with my friends, um, and I'm fine with it. Like, I don't know. Maybe he's talked to his friends about it. Maybe they don't care. But I think it was because the age difference was even though Tommy, I mean not Tommy, Dream and Tommy's age range of fans are the same. Dream is still
Mhm.
older. So they would be like, "Oh, like I can write this stuff about like, you know, Tommy because I'm also like, you know, 15 or whatever."
Yeah.
And it's hard to fight that because that's what I think that's what a lot of people have done no matter what. I think in a lot of fandoms or whatever, even if somebody's like the creator's like, "Hey, I'm uncomfortable with you doing this or this with my characters because they're that age." Well, they'll be like, "Well, no, because I'm that age and this is how I consume media right now,"
Yeah,
which
there's
is not
in every
mm,
kind of fandom there's people like that and it's really
mm,
weird. And I mean, I wish that people would
yeah.
respect boundaries, but there's always going to be a certain demographic that just doesn't get that and doesn't respect anyone's boundaries. And they're like, "Well, I'm a kid, so it's cool. I can do whatever." You
Yeah, and I
can't.
mean Yeah, I think that's the joke with what, like 12-year-olds in that age bracket, but they're like, oh, little kids are sociopaths. Where it's like that one age where it's like you have no shame, you don't care about like the actions of your consequences. And I think that does not work well with the internet at all. Like
Mm-hmm.
at all. But I do a part of me wants to circle back around to Minecraft YouTube channels and kids.
Yeah.
Do you hear about that problem that's going on? I don't know if how much I'm not going to talk about it in detail.
Like PNG tubers?
Yes, I think.
Like the jelly bean.
The No, I was gonna
Oh.
know of the Minecraft people who make kids content, but it's clearly adult content and put it
Mm,
on YouTube. I'm not gonna go into like a lot of detail about it, but it's weird because I was thinking for a minute, oh, like Minecraft hasn't touched that like uncomfortable layer when it's not
mm.
talking about creators, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I
it
mean,
has. I just remember
it
hearing that.
it has. And I mean, even just several years ago with the like girlfriend
Mhm.
mod stuff,
Oh
that
my
was always a
goodness. Yeah.
thing. So, yeah, I don't know. Again,
Yeah.
Minecraft's really popular. You can do pretty much anything with it, so people will do anything with it, and it gets
Yeah.
weird.
Although I am surprised that Gary's mod, that I don't think that happened with Gary's mod. I mean, I was younger, but
No, I don't think
there,
so.
yeah, it was popular, but it didn't reach that level of like people can do whatever they want with it. Like, cause I maybe it was because they couldn't make their own like little character models. Cause I know a big part of like literally whatever's popular is like that weird individuality of like
Mm-hmm.
being able to like I can create my own skin, I can do whatever. And I think it's maybe because Gary's mod was like Steam's like pre-made characters. But like like the one that you showed me, that the abridged version of Half-Life.
Oh, Half-Life VR, but the AI is self-aware.
Yeah.
That's a really cool
That was
project.
I know I need to rewatch that. But I think well, again, I think what made that popular was they took the characters and they made them their own characters. They just had the same name and same look, but it's kind of hard to
Yeah,
do. And I think Minecraft just looked at Sandbox and was like, what if it was Block?
yeah.
what if
I
what if
feel
Sand
like
was Block?
Half-Life VR is kind of just its own little category of Gary's mod, like Dream SMP is its own little category of Minecraft. Like it did
Yeah.
kind of reach that point at some point, Half-Life VR did.
Hmm.
But not Gary's mod as a whole.
Yeah.
That
I don't know.
was
Maybe
just a
it's
separate little thing.
yeah. I mean, because Gary's mod did have animations, because that's kind of what it was made for. It's so weird because people listened, I think, at least from what I noticed. I don't know, maybe because I was younger. I mean, I don't know. But people sort of listened to like, hey, this is for this. Where it's like, please don't do anything weird with it or like go extreme. Like I remember there was like a YouTube channel that would just make like really dorky clips of stuff, and I used to watch it with like my family. Um of like, like Left 4 Dead, the Half-Life characters, Portal.
Yeah.
It was like really funny, but they used it strictly for animation. They didn't do anything like they didn't really story tell with it as much as they could have, but
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of other games that would fit that like genre that could have been,
I don't know
but
because it
maybe.
is kind of just like with sandbox games. It's just with really general you can do whatever with this. And I don't know if
Mhm.
there are any other games that are as like free range as that.
Yeah. Hmm. And
Mm.
I don't know, maybe it's also they know how to update Minecraft.
Yeah.
Like
I mean
it's
I'm really excited for the new Minecraft update
yeah.
for the swamp stuff. Like I think it is
Mhm.
really cool that there's still such a huge audience for Minecraft that so many
Mhm.
years later they're still drastically changing the game all the time.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it's because they know how to update it. Like if we go back to like Fall Guys or whatever, they when they updated stuff, they didn't do it properly. Or it's like they would
Hmm.
have a team sometimes that they wouldn't want to expand on, like let's say like Phasmophobia. That also got like extremely popular for a minute and then it died back down because, they while they did want to update stuff, I think originally the guy didn't want to add more people to his team. I don't know if
Hmm.
it's because he thought like he could do it on his own or something, but he just didn't want to add people into his team. And then the hype died out, and then he was like, I'll add people. And even though it is really fun, like there's an Easter egg hunt going on right now, it's like it's really fun. but they didn't do it in time. And same with like Fall Guys, they didn't properly update it. They didn't fix all the stuff that needed to be fixed. Like they made it so names couldn't be customizable anymore, instead of just like attaching it to whatever gamer tag you had.
Yeah.
They got rid of voice chat, which was a good one, but they didn't add cooler games, cooler maps, and all enough in time.
Mm.
So
yeah, I feel like there are always games like that get super popular for like a couple months and then everybody forgets about them, or
yeah.
like they have a very small community from then on,
Mm-hmm.
which is sad. But I mean, if it's not a good enough game to keep a large audience, then cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Find something else.
It's so weird because I don't mind games that have a small audience as long as they're good,
Yeah.
like like Darkwood has like a very, very small fan base, and that's why like I'd play it in the early morning because it would mainly be Europeans. It didn't really reach that American audience for some reason.
Yeah.
Even though Markiplier helped it for a minute, it didn't work.
I was gonna say, like, if it hadn't been for Markiplier playing it, I would have never heard of that game, honestly.
Yeah. And I mean, it's really good. Like somebody was like talking, like somebody came into my chat the other day and they were like, "Oh yeah, I'm playing this," and they're like, "I honestly like discovered this hidden gem because I just found it on my own."
Mm.
And it's like it seems to be a respected fandom. It's not. I'm trying to figure out. It's like I would rather have a small game blow up in a small scale with loyal fans rather than a big game blow up with like insane, like ginormous, fan base for like a month and just die, because that just ruins your hope. It's like
Right.
there's no growing from that.
A small community is a lot more, like, tight-knit, and it's way cooler to find other people that like the same things that you do, and then there's less of a chance of getting that, like, really weird group of people who kind of ruin it for everyone.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I don't know. Sometimes you'll have a weird, like a ugh, like a little icky, like person or something. But yeah.
Yeah.
You want to start singing again and then be like, "This is goodbye."
I hope you enjoyed our talk about weird internet culture, and to everyone listening, touch some grass, go outside. Please don't live on the internet because weird things will happen. Elise, do you have anything you want to shout out or promote?
Yeah. Don't make no, I have nothing to promote. Don't make people uncomfortable online.
Yeah.
No matter the age. Even if you're like, "Oh, it won't matter in 5 years." It'll matter. Everything you do matters.
Agreed.
Touch the grass.
Yeah.
The grass will matter.
High five.
Go touch it. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Podcast done.
Podcast done.